Thank you for joining me. Today, we'll be discussing social media's impact on young adult mental health. Social media, although prevalent today, is a relatively new technology. Only within the last 45 years has it been introduced into our society. Its prevalence has grown significantly since the early days of Usenet, and now an estimated 2.8 billion people worldwide use at least one social media platform each month. It is truly incredible how social media has the power to bring people across the globe together, whether it be participating in an online community based on shared interest or learning the latest fashion trends for the season. Cultural diffusion such as this is a powerful benefit to the interconnectedness of these platforms. With the rise of its usage, however, it is important to understand the impacts that this innovation has on our society's well-being. New cultural factors, such as social media, need to be examined fully so the public is able to make informed decisions on how best to integrate these new technologies, while also ensuring all aspects of their health are supported. Although social media can be a beneficial agent of socialization, it can also perpetuate behaviors that can harm mental health. In a meta-analysis done by Holly Shannon and her colleagues, problematic social media usage correlated moderately with higher symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress. This research is further supported by a study conducted by Faulhaber, Lee, and Gentile. Research participants in their study, who limited their social media usage to 30 minutes a day, reported lower levels of anxiety, depression, loneliness, and fear of missing out. Furthermore, research participants in a qualitative study done in the UK by Aileen Anto and her colleagues reported an increase in negative aspects such as procrastination, stress, and comparison in relation to their social media usage. They also reported positive feelings such as connectedness, escapism, and positive experiences. Studies such as Anto's highlight that there can be a myriad of both positive and negative consequences to social media usage, which makes it all the more important that we study the effects of this cultural change so individuals can make informed decisions about how they spend their time. From a structural functionalism standpoint, social media plays into how modern-day societies communicate and transmit culture, mass media's influence on social norms, and ultimately the perpetuation of our society through socialization. When the lens is applied to the negative effects of social media previously discussed, structural functionalism is concerned about how these mental health issues and excessive use affect the overall function of society. Mental health issues such as depression and anxiety can affect someone's ability to successfully integrate into the world, especially during a period as formative as the young adult years. The conflict theorist perspective illuminates how inequity is exacerbated by differences in access to technology. While the function of social media serves as an important way to bridge communication gaps, it can also cause more of a divide for those who struggle to utilize these platforms or choose not to. Conflict theorists might argue that the societal expectation of being available in an online capacity puts those members of society who cannot or do not participate in this norm at a disadvantage. In addition, social media, where people post highlight reels of their lives, can distort reality and affirm feelings of inadequacy about their own lives. This lens may also see these highlight reels as taking away from coverage on world events, which can be interpreted as a way in which people engage in and experience privilege. Additionally, conflict theorists may view escapism through social media as a consequence of social issues. Symbolic interactionism assesses the impact of social media on how we communicate with each other, as well as how we interact with and perceive the content we view online. The view on social media from a symbolic interactionist standpoint would be concerned with how this innovation has impacted our face-to-face interactions with one another. One may argue that as we normalize online-based connections more, we lose important social skills necessary to have successful interpersonal communication. Symbolic interactionists also look at the effects of comparison to groups, products, and experiences we see others have online. These concerns would be supported by the evidence previously discussed, as social media use is correlated with higher levels of fear of missing out. Post-industrial societies can still embrace the interconnectedness that social media has brought us by finding a balance between excessive usage and prioritizing mental health. One example of this would be construction of community events like No Phone Days, where events are organized around activities that require physical interpersonal interactions. Picnic days, board game nights, and other events such as these. Targeted towards the young adult community with a mild educational component on the researched effects of social media, introducing these structured activities could positively influence the culture, getting people to put down the screens and enjoy the life around them. Ultimately, even with implemented events such as this, further research into the neurological and psychological effects of different levels of social media usage is needed to fully understand where the proverbial sweet spot is between positive cultural diffusion and negative psychological side effects.